Hello everyone, Elvian here. We are back with Naruto Volume 25. Oh boy, what a volume this is. It is a good volume. I remember I liked it better than I thought. I think I liked it better this time than when I first read the volume, and more than when I watched it in the anime. It's a lot. It's good. It's better the second time around. Yeah, I thought, oh, okay, well, this stuff is like retconned, because Itachi was later decided to be a good guy. And maybe I'm not sure whether I still believe that the retcon theory. And oh my god, I'm maxing out of my audio. Sorry about. I had an amplifier because I thought I was being too soft. Now it's maxing out harder, and that's kind of defeating the purpose of the amplifier. But anyways, um, good good stuff this volume. I want to start off with a weird note. Here, probably not anything major. Um, yeah, Fugaku and Mikoto, Sasuke's father and mother, in this character recap thing. Not really much of notice he in these sections really. Like Dry and Snade aren't even in this volume at all. But like Fugaku and Mikoto, we don't get. I don't think we get their names in this volume, but we get them here. But usually their name, if you see everyone else, their name is written in English and then in Japanese. But that's not true for Fugaku Mikoto. The Japanese here just says Sasuke's father, Sasuke's mother. You don't get their names in Japanese. So I wonder if they had their names in Japanese, but Viz just had to get rid of them because they want to make more room. Maybe. Maybe that's true. Um, I think I've talked before about how I think it's weird which characters get names in kanji and which characters get names in just katakana, and I think some have just some just have hiragana characters. Like Kabuto is just katakana. These four here on the right side, they just have hiragana. So I wonder what's up with that. Like all the Sanin have kanji names, but none of them have last names, so I think that's a bit weird too. Anyways, there. I don't think I've read a manga that has had as many flashbacks to um stuff we've already talked about, or that has already been shown, than in this early stage of this fight. You know, Naruto vs Sasuke before the Itachi flashback. It's like we usually talk about flashbacks in manga, talking about flashbacks of stuff that the reader have not seen before. But in this section, there's tons of flashbacks to stuff we've already seen, like the rooftop fight with flashback to that. Stuff in the Sasuke retrieval arc, land waves, We'll flashback to that before Land of Waves with the bell test stuff. Flashback to Sakura's promise of a lifetime thing. It's like we're getting all of the best beats, of Naruto. I'm not saying there's not any effectiveness to it. I just think it's kind of interesting that Kishimoto would go that way. Like, I've never seen so many flashbacks. Like, look at this. Look at this. Half this 2 pages are flashbacks. And I know, we're doing parallels or calling back stuff, the other stuff, and then there's another. This is mostly flashback. These 2 pages. I don't know, man, but it is still good. But anyways, I do like this initial section. It's like just the epic confrontation. That we've all been waiting for. Naruto vs Sasuke. It's been a long time coming. We almost got it with the well, I don't know. I won't say we almost got it with the hospital fight. I mean, they did fight there, but it doesn't have the same weight, you know, because Sasuke hadn't already, decided to join Orochimaru and stuff. You do have to wonder though, what would have happened if Kakashi wasn't there? If it would they have crossed a line that they couldn't cross? Anyways, the battle aspect of this early stage is cool. Like Naruto just jumps across the entire valley. Although it is kind of weird that they're able to just talk when they're on the other side of this waterfall. Because waterfalls make a lot of noise. But it's a manga. It's fine. They're fine. It's okay. But yeah, Naruto's like, Orochimaru doesn't care about you, Sasuke. He just wants your body. You're not going to do anything with Orochimaru. But Sasuke he's focused. He's a one-track mind, focused on Itachi. And that's why we get the flashback. Although I do think there's a cool there's a cool moment where Sasuke has Naruto in a sort of chokehold, and then like relinquishes him to punch him, back into the waterfall, and he starts talking about how he has so much power since he has this curse mark now, and then Naruto falls into the he's in the waterfall, and then he gets up, and then they have a clash. Then Naruto summons some shadow clones, and they attach themselves to each other, and they swing around, and then they kick Sasuke in the face. It's cool. And then Sasuke just kind of punches him back into the waterfall again, and he doesn't get up from the waterfall in a few chapters since that initiates the flashback. And quite, again, I would say quite a good one. We get a good characterization of Itachi. At this point, we only see him as this kind-hearted brother, taking care of Sasuke, standing up for Sasuke too, because like Fugaku was going to was going to skip Sasuke's entrance or academy entrance ceremony until Itachi kind of pushed the issue. And then that made Fukaku want to attend the academy entrance ceremony. So yeah, we get this early view of Itachi taking care of his brother, looking after his brother, and of Fukaku of solely focused on the clan. It's not really something that's brought up here, although it will be later on. But just like the concept that the village, the Leaf Village, okay, has a lot of clans in it. But basically all of these clans are older than the village itself. So there's quite, despite a lot of what we've been talking about, or what it gets talked about with how protect the Leaf Village, and Wheel of Fire and all that. A lot of these clans, they're more have more loyalty to their clan than the village, and that's very true in the Uchiha clan. One of the oldest. It's one of the older clans. Isn't does this one have direct, like very direct ties to a Kaguya? And like, although other ones are like offshoots. I mean, we see Kaguya with like a Renesha Sharingan, right? I think the Yuka clan is like this too. But yeah, Fugaku totally focused on the clan, not of the village. Okay, this is another minor thing, but I thought this was weird. Remember, the academy? We don't really see much. There's like one chapter of the academy in Naruto. We see a lot more in Boruto. Do you ever do you remember there? Do you ever remember them learning senjutsu? You see senjutsu. Sasuke's first in senjutsu. Well, he's not a sage. What is this? They all learn sage jutsu in the academy. When was that? When was that a thing? Jesus, am I like is there like a different thing? Am I thinking of a different thing? Senjutsu? Is this not just learning on Mount Miyaboku or the Snake Cave? I think it's either of those two you can learn the Sage Jutsu. I think maybe you can do it on that one mountain or forest mountain thing that the slug is on. Was it Katsuyu? That Tsunade has. Sage Jutsu. Probably a thing. I don't know if they ever explicitly call it a thing. I think some people say Hashirama might have. That might be where Hashirama learned his. But either way, I don't think they have. I don't. This doesn't make sense. But it's fine. It's fine. It's just a small thing. Every shonen has those things. This is like, oh, if you squint, Sasuke's report card, it has a weird thing. Did they mistranslate genjutsu? That'd make much more sense if genjutsu was what they meant to say. Because you have taijutsu and ninjutsu, but then it's just it's like a whole different thing. But I don't think they're really. I don't remember them really learning genjutsu in the Boruto at least. But still, I mean, that would make much more sense. Senjutsu. But either way, you know, Sasuke. While Itachi stands up for Sasuke, Sasuke is still lonely. He wants to make his father proud, but his father is all worried about Itachi this, Itachi that, and Itachi's too busy being an Anbu with like what isn't Itachi like 14, 13? You know, kind of weird. But I mean, Sasuke's even younger, so maybe he just looks older by comparison. You know. Yeah, Sasuke is lonely, and you know he overhears talk uh about missions and stuff. Because like right before Sasuke's academy entrance ceremony or whatever, Itachi has an important mission to get to. One that Fugaku is certain that will make him get him into the Anbu. Oh wait, sorry, I got the timeline messed up. He's not Anbu yet, but um, he's about to be. But anyways, Fugaku's like, you have to get into the Anbu because that's how we get into the village center. That's how we advance the clan interest. Not a single word. He never says a single word about Itachi doing anything for the good of the village. It's just the clan. It's only for the clan. Also, it's entire flashback. We don't get a word really about bad treatment from the village. You know, like discrimination for the Nine Tails attack or anything like that. They're just there's none that's not a dynamic in this flashback. They're just want more power within the village. So yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. It's a retcon, you know. But it also makes sense, though. It makes sense that there'd be discrimination, against Uchiha for, you know, doing the Nine Tails attack because of the Sharingan. It makes sense. So that retcon, good retcon. I mean, it would be better if he had thought about it earlier. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, I like the series better with that element in it. So that's fine. But anyways, Shisui died. Shisui died. You don't really see Shisui at all. Yeah, there's not even a panel with Shisui's name on it. We just know that he was a very talented, best at teleportation. Which it's not really clear here, but they are referring to the body flicker. Which is not teleportation. It's just moving very fast. Even though it just looks like teleportation. But yeah, he has like a suicide note, and he's confronted over it. But obviously, you know, they said that for Sharingan users, copying handwriting, child's play. And then he gets all intense. It's like, do you think I did this? And then he just kind of just starts beating them up. Um, and he's like, Itachi's like, you cling to your organization, to your clan, to your name. You're narcissistic and arrogant, and you fear what you don't understand. Pure idiocy. uh, Such an edgy boy. And I needed to achieve the next state. It's all mad. It's like, oh man, yeah, he also doesn't judge people by appearances or preconceptions. Uh, it's not racist. That's great. uh, yeah, he does have a good line after that though. Obsessing over worthless things like the clan, you lose sight of what's really important. Premonition and imagination. You can't achieve real change as long as you're bound by regulations and restrictions. Um, which either could be interpreted as, oh, hey guys, don't obsess over the clan. You know, there are more important things and stuff, and you're narrowing your thinking, and it's not. But it could also it can be a positive or negative because it also being like, oh, you lose sight of what's really important. You can't achieve real change. The change could be positive or negative. You know, you don't really see what change he's talking about. Um, yeah, he does give a mean look when he looks to the side and after he prostrates himself. Um, Sasuke sees a monkey go. Whoa. And then Sasuke um learns the fireball jutsu from Fugaku. And it's small. His first fireball jutsu is small. What a what a dunce. But no. A week later, he mastered it. And he got a big one. And you can see Fugaku was kind of surprised. And that's he finally got that's my boy. Because that was something he wanted. Um, 'cause I was kind of distracted by the senjutsu thing, but the important thing there was that Fugaku wasn't fairly impressed by Sasuke's good grades. um, and he didn't treat him like he did with Itachi. Now he got the "That's my boy." That the comment that he liked. But then Sasuke's like, oh well, Itachi's been different, and well, and he's kind of been distant from Dad, so maybe I'm just the replacement. And he talks about this with his mom Mikoto. It's like, oh yeah, you're fine. Fukaku likes you. He talks about you when we're just talking by ourselves. Um, and I get even Mikoto when she talks to Sasuke doesn't talk about village stuff. It's only clan stuff. No, no one talks about the village, man. No one cares, man. Maybe we can see that this is the effect of the discrimination that they've been gone through because of the Nine Tails attack. So maybe even if that whole thing was a retcon, although maybe is even a retcon if it doesn't contradict stuff we've already learned about. I don't know. It feels like I don't know why Kishimoto wouldn't mention it here if that was an element that he thought of here. Um, But either way, Sasuke is the last conversation Sasuke had with his dad. Um, was him asking about if there was a higher stage to the Sharingan. In fact, I was like, yeah, there's like a thing called Mangekyo Sharingan. Only a few over Uchiha's long history have attained it. I've heard that this kind of eye-opening occurs only under special conditions. And then he tells them about your brother's been a little bit different. He doesn't like to get too close to people. Can't even get a read on him. And then he just kind of leaves for practice. And then after he gets home from late practice, it happens. But there was a line I think I missed. Maybe it's later, but oh no, we do it earlier. It's tough being the best. Having power means being isolated, and it leads to arrogance. No matter how high people's hopes were, for you. So I do get the sense that Itachi, his big strength, all of his strength has isolated him. But that is, you could say, is part of the reason that he's been distant from the clan. But even if we don't really know all what happened, we don't know that he has orders to kill the clan at this point. But I think even with this flashback, obviously I have, the benefit of hindsight, future sight. I have the Almighty. I know the future. But even with all that, I feel you can get a sense that Tachi's position as the link between himself or between the clan and the village, as well as with his power, is a big sense that's isolating him. And obviously you can't really intuit from that he's under orders to kill everyone. But well, whatever. The thing happens. We get the full moon, with Tachi standing on a electrical line. That's so iconic, man. That's good, so good. But yeah, Big Brother, what did you do? How? Why? And then Tsukiyomi lived through all that again. Do we at this point do we know how the effect Tsukiyomi had on him? I don't know. It just kind of, we know that he kind of lived through some of the events prior to that happening. That's my boy. When he talks about you, he talks about you all the time. For me, Toto. Sorry, Sasuke, another time. It's not all from the previous day. That's like the weeks or so leading up to it. Probably around the time the flashback started. But yeah, what we're told that the reason for this is that he was just pretending to be the kind brother, just so I could determine your ability, and also I killed Shisui. Now I have eyes, the better eyes, and I'm leaving you alive, so that you can hate me, and then I can grow. You can grow into someone worth fighting, and then I can and I can kill you. Well, that's certainly that's certainly a a way You can have a villain. I like post retcon Itachi much more. Um, I'm sorry. I don't know. If that's a hot take in our contemporary Naruto circles. There's so much more depth to it. You know, again, like the whole village um discrimination, um, and there's so much more to it. Um, so much more complex in uh in the real version. And sure, you can say, "Oh, retcon or not." I don't care. It's better that way. It's better the way he did things. And there was a good. I like the transition. Um, from the flashback to the modern day. Sasuke saw Tachi's reflection in the pond, and he jumps in at the reflection into the water. And then he's like, "Oh, no matter how dark a path, I'll forge ahead and kill you." And then he's like going deeper into the water. And there was my favorite opening to the Naruto, either OG or Shippuden, is Diver, and that uses the metaphor of being underwater as being isolated stuff. Um, and then you see that here, Sasuke going about under the water, um, you know, uh, towards Itachi, but in that fleeing from it, or sorry, he goes into the water, searching for Itachi, but in that process, he isolates himself, and in so doing, falls into the same line that Itachi did. Itachi was also isolated, and in Sasuke's view, killed his brother or his best friend Shisui to obtain power, and but we'll go back to the water thing. If you remember, Naruto, this whole flashback was happening while Naruto was underwater, and then Naruto. So we ended the flashback with Sasuke underwater, and then we start up again with Naruto coming above water to get Sasuke. I just like it. It's a good transition. But yeah, you definitely tell now that Itachi or Sasuke is, while he's he definitely is firmly motivated to um killing Itachi, but he himself recognizes that he's doing what Itachi did. He's trying to awaken his powers by killing his best friend, um, and isolating himself in darkness, um, in order to do the thing against Itachi, who did the same thing. um, it's like a cycle. You could say a cycle of vengeance, maybe. Ooh, is this connecting? Are we? Is that too far fetched? I don't know. Maybe I am. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Uh, Sasuke is like, "Oh, you're my closest friend. That's why I had to kill you, so I can wake up my eyes." Um, although he doesn't tell Sasuke or Naruto that yet. But yeah, and then they had kind of another strike, and then there comes out the big guns, Chidori, 1,000 birds versus the Rasengan. No Kakashi here to stop that. What happens? Well, it's like kind of like reflect each other back. It sort of causes a big like sphere of water to pop up. And then the volume ends, and then oh my god, oh man, what a good volume. The volume extra there isn't usually in the volume extras. Omakes Kishimoto talks about his like nerdy past or whatever. But in this volume, well, some of them just don't. Some of the pages don't have extras. They just put the Naruto logo. But most of them they're just like small pictures. And a lot of them like some of the female characters making a blub face. I don't get it. Actually, most of them. Maybe I'm thinking of the chapter covers. Oh no. Oh no, it's kind of weird. No, number 223 cover has Naruto making a bleh in like a teasing face, which is kind of weird. Oh yeah, it was a cover. Sakura did it in the next one. Uh, Interesting. And then and then the one for 226 after that is Mikoto making a smiling face. I don't know, man. But I'm dragging this out. It's just a good volume. You don't really get much from Naruto here, though. Obviously, it's Sasuke and Itachi. I like it's so cool. But yeah, next time. Uh, Honestly, I don't. The next volume, I think, is entirely to this fight. And I know we'll get the Curse Mark and the Nine Tails will come out. But aside from that, I'm not sure what happens next volume besides the fight continues. But either way, we'll find out next week. So until then, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you then. Have a good one.